What's up, guys? I'm Jeff, the founder of Worldwide Cyclery, and a little while back I asked one of our sponsored downhill racers, Max Morgan, to write a blog for us on the 5 coolest little pro tips that he has. And if you're wondering who Max Morgan is, check out this clip of him at a World Cup. You should probably watch that a couple more times. Oh, and also, check out this picture of him. Needless to say, Max knows how to take a fall, but he also knows how to race a bike and has put in some amazing results and is a super fast racer. But he filled me in on some of the awesome things that he sees out there that all the other mountain bike professionals are doing on the enduro scene and the downhill scene. And this is some things you might already know, but some stuff you probably don't know. So we're gonna get into sort of the 5 tips that he wrote down, blog post below if you wanna see them in text rather than watch a video. But to start out, one of the things that's most common that all of these mountain bike pros are doing is grip tape on brake levers. So this grip tape, I think this was $6 at Home Depot. You can also probably buy skateboard grip tape. Very simple, and you only need about this much to cover 2 brake levers. The idea behind that, a lot of professional mountain bikers are racing and they don't get to race on sunny days all the time. A lot of times it's raining and muddy. Oh. And that is precisely where having grip tape on your brake levers and then on your shift lever, on either your shift levers or your dropper post lever, can really come in handy. Because if your gloves are wet or you're not using gloves and you have wet fingers, the grip tape is awesome to keep your fingers planted on those brake levers and also help you just get traction if you're shifting or hitting that dropper post lever. So that is an amazing tip that you see out there, and again, really common for wet riding. So if you've ever had that problem where your fingers are slippery, grip tape on those levers is a really good thing to do. And like I said, this is $6. Cut a couple pieces out, boom, slap it on there, easy. The next one is 3M rubber mastic tape. So you can buy this stuff, I think it's $10 on Amazon, and I'm not exactly sure what it's for, probably some air conditioning stuff, but what it does, this was a lot more commonly used when bikes didn't come with really cool sort of molded chainstay and seat stay protectors, but it's still really useful for a lot of places on the bike. So Yeti, for example, like a lot of other brands these days, has built in from the factory really well done molded rubber pieces to just cut down on the noise of chain slap, but they don't always get every spot. Yeti does a pretty good job, some do worse, some don't even come with it, and that's where the 3M rubber mastic tape comes in handy. You can put that on little places like this or under here or anywhere where you think your chain might be hitting and making noise or direct contact with the frame. So this stuff is kind of a thick and spongy tape, and it really cuts down on the noise and is pretty much, if you don't have a chainstay protector, this is the way to go. If you do have one and there's a couple more spots where you wanted some coverage, this is the stuff. A ton of pros use this, and again, you can buy it on Amazon for $10 and Home Depot sells it as well. When you go into Home Depot, good luck finding it. It's probably in the HVAC area, but it's a nightmare finding this stuff, so probably just buy it on Amazon. Next up, Maxima SC1. So this stuff has been sort of iconic and the most popular polish in the motorcycle world and the motocross world for ages, and Maxima has been breaking into the mountain bike scene a little bit these days. But this polish, it actually has a really good scent to it, like almost all Maxima products, which is pretty cool. And it's an incredible high gloss coating / polish. And obviously you don't want to get this stuff near your brakes or your chain or your cassette or anything like that. But on your frame, on your stanchions, on your rims, this stuff is amazing. Not only does it work as a polish, but it works as a coating, which sort of helps mud not want to stick to it and dust not want to stick to it. So a phenomenal product. You can buy this anywhere on the internet, and it's not too expensive and it lasts a long time. And it is aerosol, so be careful when you're spraying it to not get any on your rotors or your brake pads, because you don't want to contaminate those. So because it's aerosol, watch out for that. Next up, Moto Foam. This is basically just foam. You can buy this at a craft store, or you might have some laying around. Sometimes it's in just packaging when you open a box and you just bought a camera or something and you might not need it. But this foam, you can, again, this is sort of a muddy tip, because you can stuff this foam in things like The spindle of your crank, you can put it inside of your steerer tube. There's a lot of different places where you can stuff this foam. And what it does is it just prevents mud and dust and dirt from collecting in those areas. So especially if you're riding in muddy terrain, if you have this stuffed into your spindle or in the steer tube of your fork, it's going to prevent all that mud from getting stuck in there, and you can just pull it out and shake it off and put it back in. Really cool little thing to have on your bike, and again, really helps out when you're in muddy conditions. Also probably helps do some sound deadening as well, but it's really just more for keeping mud out of those spots. The last thing, which if you guys pay attention to any of the Enduro World Series racing, that's really common is one of these straps. So there's a company called Backcountry Research that makes them, a whole bunch of other companies that make them. Raceface has a really cool one as well. You can honestly just get like Velcro straps if you want to kind of jerry rig it. These ones are sort of purpose built and they're pretty big and they have grippy rubber in the middle, really strong Velcro. But you can see on this bike right here, this right here is going to sort of allow you to not use a hydration pack. We also have a video, is using a hydration pack lame, where we talk about the pros and cons of hydration packs and these straps. But if you have one of these straps, like you can see on this bike right here, there's a tube in there, there's a CO2 head, there's 2 CO2s, a tire lever, and on the other side, there's a multi-tool. So all of that stuff that is essential to have with you during a ride, you can strap right on your bike, and a ton of pros are doing this that are racing enduro. Very convenient way to go, because if you have all of your essentials right here and you've got a water bottle on your bike, you don't need a pack. And then you can still fix a flat, and if anything else breaks, you got your multi-tool, etc. Pretty cool little thing to do, and not have to worry about having a hydration pack with you. So that's another thing pros are doing that you could possibly adopt to your bike if you're not doing it yet. So let us know if you guys have any other pro mountain biker tips you think, or if we missed something. Hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you guys in the next one.